Okay, looks like the camera's on this time. We'll try one more time. Anyway, I'm a 70-year-old white guy, and I'm here today to talk to you about Andrew Yang. Um, as you know, Andrew Yang, or I'm assuming you know that Andrew Yang is running for president in 2020, and I've been following him probably for the last 8 months, and I am very impressed with who he is as a person and how his mind works and his policies. He seems to be a really decent human being that actually gives a damn about the people in this country. And so I'm here to put my 2 cents in and hopefully to help you guys come to terms with your own decisions on that. I'm just going to tell you how I feel, and you can decide for yourself if that makes sense to you or not. All I'm asking is that you give him an honest, hard look, and I think you'll be very impressed. Probably the thing that most people know about him is that he's wants to give everybody in the country $1,000 a month, and may sound like a gimmick, but if you really look at it, it's not a gimmick. It may be the one thing that saves this country from completely imploding. As you know, he feels that automation and artificial intelligence are going to become more and more prevalent in our lives and consume more and more of the jobs, to the point that there's not going to be as much for us to do. There will always be work. You know, like for myself, I'm a general building contractor and a farmer. Contracting, I haven't been doing as much. I'm getting a little old for getting out there and building, although I still do. And right now, my passion is getting the farm running. Food's probably going to be one of the most critical things that we need as the world population expands. And probably the greatest thing I'll ever build is a farm. So I'm doing that, and I'm actually on Social Security now. I collect $1,000 a month. So just to give you an idea how that UBI would work for someone, you know, people are going, oh, well, they're going to get $1,000, they're not going to work. Well, this $1,000 allows me to work on the farm. You know, it gives me money for groceries and pays for my gas. Doesn't give me much else, but it affords me the ability to take the time and to work on the farm. And any of you that, it's a small farm, it's not a big farm, but any of you that have worked on a farm understand it's a full-time job. And it takes time and money. And of course, we've only had this place 4 years. I've planted all the trees on it, and we're raising avocados and citrus. I've got a few other exotic trees too, but you know, it takes time for those trees to grow in before you're going to start making any money at all. So the UBI, or Social Security, for me, is absolutely critical to the existence of this place. And I can't stress enough how much it gives me the freedom to do what I actually want to do rather than what I have to do. I mean, otherwise I would have to stop and go back to work and build houses for people. And, you know, right now, food for a hungry planet is the most pressing matter I can see. So anyway, Andrew Yang's plan to give everybody $1,000 definitely will give a lot of people the ability to do things that they might not otherwise be able to do. And as far as worrying about people not doing anything, that's garbage. Everybody does something, you know, and you know, if they don't have to worry about just survival, then they can take time and do things that are important to them. And you know, that's important. If people are doing what they want to do, they're going to be happy. They're not going to be running around angry at the world, or they're not going to be struggling to get by and just making ends meet and watch their kids get sick and not be able to pay for them and not be able to pay for groceries. So, this idea that people don't need, this idea that they're just going to take this handout and do nothing, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. There may be a few people that are going to do nothing. But you know what? They would do nothing no matter what. So at least feed them. There's nothing there is nothing wrong with feeding people that are just incapable of taking care of themselves. So let's get over this idea that, oh yeah, it's going to make a lazy country, and that's just stupid. Anyway, I'm not here to argue, to bitch at people for their ignorance. But if you look at Andrew Yang and really think about it, I think you'll be surprised. He's got a lot of policies that really, really help people. And the fact that he doesn't come from the political class is probably one of the greatest benefits to him, because he's not locked into that type of mindset. Every career seems to have its own mindset. Construction's no different. Most of us contractors, we think a certain way. We have to, there's all certain ways of pretty much ordering materials, building houses, coming up with estimates. I mean, that's just the way it is, and we know what our needs are. So, but with politicians, they don't really know what our needs are. They know what their needs are, and their needs are more money, more power. That doesn't benefit any of us. It benefits them, but not the rest of us. So I really think we need to move away from hiring politicians to run this country. We need people that actually have a soul and really care about the people. John F. Kennedy said, ask not what you can do for what their country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Well, that hasn't really worked out too good, because our country has just done us in, and it's done nothing for us. We've gotten worse and worse off because of that kind of thinking, and the people that run the country, it's more like they're asking, oh, what can the country do for me? And they just keep taking and taking and taking, and now the wealth is in a very small portion of the population's hands. Well, it needs to change. This is a country of the people, by the people, and for the people. And for all you politicians out there, it's for the people, not for you. If you're going to go in and do something, then do something good for us. You'll benefit. You'll benefit way more than you realize. Being selfish is a very bad life choice. So get over it and move on. You'll find that you'll have so much more freedom when you do the right thing. You'll feel better about yourself when you do the right thing. And people won't always be pissed off at you because, we all know you're self-serving. Who do you think you're kidding? Anyway, I'm trying not to rant, because I'm, like most Americans, I'm actually pretty angry with the politicians, and I know I'm not alone. So and the reality is Andrew Yang even understands that. He understands that we need a stable society, and if we don't, then all hell's going to break loose, and it's not going to be good for anybody. We don't need more wars. We don't need to be fighting amongst each other. We need to be looking after each other, because you know what? We've got one planet right now. That's all we got. And if we can't learn to work together and solve the problems of the planet, then we're not going to continue in existence very long. So let's get off this us against them, and you're good and you're bad, and this is, you know what, get over it. Let's figure out what the problems are and deal with them. Andrew's actually sat down and thought about a lot of it. So go to Andrew Yang, or go to, is it Andrew Yang 2020? Yang 2020. Anyway, go to Yang2020.com and take a look at his policies. The man is smart. He thinks about things before he goes through it, and he's not an ideologue. You know, if somebody comes up with a better idea, he's in on it. You know, it's not, he doesn't have an ego attached to his solutions. He wants the solutions to be right. And if you got a better idea, he's willing to listen. As he says, it's not left, it's not right, it's forward. So let's start moving forward, America. We can do better. We are a lot better than this. I know we are. So for all you folks out there, give you all my love. I wish the best for you. I don't want to see anybody do poorly. You know, we're capable of much, much, much better. And you politicians, wake up. You know, you can't spend your life hiding behind security and everything else. You guys keep screwing up. Sooner or later, it didn't work out well for the French. In the French Revolution, you know, the rich just couldn't control themselves. And you guys are doing the same damn thing. So I would wake up and see what's going down before it's too late. Anyway, to all of you, I wish you a wonderful aloha, a wonderful evening, and let's have a wonderful future. All right, aloha.